Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Happy Tuesday, Liberty Defenders. Blessings to all of you tuning in this evening, doing the things, hanging out with us. Remember, before we get started, make sure if you're not subscribed to this show and the other subsequent shows, make sure you go over to RoderickThreats.com. Again, that's Roderick Threats, RoderickThreats.com. They go find all the shows, the live show times, and click on and to subscribe to the shows. I greatly appreciate it. If you already subscribed, share this with a friend or two. Let everybody know there's other people like them that think out here in this internet ether, as we like to call it. You know, we're not lost in space. We just, we're just bouncing around and doing the things, so I greatly appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that's participating in the live chat this evening. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all 100%. Those of you in South Florida listening on open air radio, I appreciate y'all. Those of you in Southeast Georgia and Utah, appreciate y'all just the same. And all my people that are coming on board on the international scene from Japan all the way clear across to India, all across through Africa. Appreciate and love y'all too for listening to us and, trusting us with your ear to expand on ideas, because what we do not do on any of the shows is try to tell you how to think. We just give you a different perspective on how to look at life and move about your life. So I greatly appreciate y'all and all the ideas you guys shoot back at us. I thank y'all for all that. This evening, character and perseverance. That's a pretty good one considering what's happened the last week. I want to swing over and talk to Ms. Val a minute. What's going on there? What's going on in your neck of the woods up that way?
Yeah, luckily it's still quiet. We're waiting for God knows what to hit us. It's like we do need good, strong character right now, and we need to persevere, because we're waiting for a time bomb to go off. And at the same time, there are people out there have no idea that anything is happening. And that's why we have to have that, really strong will. We are in a battle of the wills now, it's obvious. I was thinking about how we know we have a two-tiered justice system, but one thing I got from the past few days is a two-tiered whining system. It's like, you hear the conservatives are like, nothing's gonna happen. Look at this the Durham, and they can't do anything, and we're gonna die. And then you have the Democrats in their panic going, you see, this proves we have nothing. It's like, the infants are whining, and then the Democrats are saying, well, maybe there were some mistakes, but it's like looking at a kindergarten class. This whole thing is like watching a kindergarten class of pointing fingers at it. There was this one and that one, and he didn't, and she did, and this. I'm just looking at this thinking, we really are the grown-ups in this parade. We have to persevere, and we have to have a good, strong character to continue in this. It's just crazy. So, public. Who is the public anymore? Are they the 9 people that watch CNN? The 3 people that watch MSNBC?
Right.
Who's the public anymore? I don't know, because I'm disconnected at this point by choice. I disconnected myself from the mainstream media and from the people who don't want to hear it anymore. I'm just like, well, really, I got nothing to say. It's fine. You go your way, because I'm done. There's nothing we can do. But
Right.
I think what happened this week is a marker. No matter what you choose to get out of it, it's a marker on so many levels. You cannot stand still on a moving train. We're on a moving train right now, and you either got to grab the left side of the subway train or the right side of the subway train, because if you stand in the middle, you're going to fall on your face.
You're right.
See, I'm in the stupid subway in New York, right? There I am, standing in the subway. Bad place to be, by the way, these days. Don't put yourself in those subways no matter what. I feel really bad on a personal level for the people that need those subways to get to work. And they need the less expensive routes, and they don't have a choice, and it's become a really sad...
But hold that thought though, right?
Okay.
Because here's the thing, right? These people, right? Green New Deal, right? We want to get rid of gas cars, and we're gonna do all the things, right? They want people to take mass transit,
Right.
right? So what are they doing? They put in oppressive, quote unquote, emissions laws or emissions regulations, right? Things of that nature. They make a city like New York, right? I don't think they really thought that all the way through when they started laying the infrastructure, right? Because now it's a cluster bomb.
Yeah.
And now people don't have a choice but to take mass transit.
But they want 15-minute cities, so you won't need mass transit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and the trains can be electric, but they'll still have monsters in the subway. I mean, really, they do everything in their power not to take care of the real issues. It's like Kamala Harris, standing up there saying, "Oh well, we're gonna give you your money back when the planes are delayed." You know what? Go screw yourself. You don't get it. You really don't get it. Sorry.
No.
Go home. It's just like this Democrat gang. Oh, I want to say something about this because I'm not going to give away my sources, but I listen to some really interesting stuff.
Okay.
So I'm listening to this, I'm going to say this CIA person, okay? Not somebody that most people listen to. And I get information that just sort of blows me away every week. So I'm listening to him talking about, see, I gave it away, it's a him. Maybe it's a him. It's a he, him, or a binary him, or a it's a him. Trust me, it's a him.
It's a him.
My New York comes out in me when I get upset, so you'll have to excuse my New York intensity. So he's talking. This is very interesting thought because he's talking about what do you think right now is going on inside the Democrat Party? And I'm like, I'm listening,
Right.
He says, think about it. There's two camps in the Democrat Party operating right now. One is we gotta protect the Biden camp.
Right.
And the other camp is we gotta protect the party camp. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about it this way. And then he continued to take this apart. So you see there's these two really live wire factions to protect the Biden camp because they put him in there for a number of reasons, and they have to protect the family, the crime family, however you want to put it, on one side. Then you've got this Democrat Party, and Nancy Pelosi, right? She was supposed to win. She was supposed to be the president.
Right.
She was the Roman. She was, the person that had to be somehow put in there. Well, didn't quite work out. So the Democrat Party, they would sacrifice Biden to save that party's revolving door. You see, there's a revolving door of people.
Yep.
So, right? To me, this was like I could visualize this now in a different way. And so we've got this chessboard that's getting smaller and smaller as we're watching. It's very easy to give up on this, but it's not. It's not easy to give up on this. This is actually amazing entertainment and extremely historical. So we've got all these investigations on the Biden family, all the LLCs they've created to launder the money, the whole thing going on in Ukraine, and all of their, China investments and, to move or not to move. That kind of changes every day. It's like, I think we have the enemy cornered in two separate corners right now.
Right. I can see
right?
that too. Mm-hmm.
Those two factions are getting cornered into these areas, and they are buying their time right now because they got to figure out, how do we do this at the same time? I'm sure they all know what the other side wants, but still they're operating on a different frequency. Mm-hmm. And so like we're watching different chess games. And every move has a consequence. Yeah.
You know what though? You know what though? Here's how I look at it, right? And you're talking about the two factions, right? And I'm just going to call a spade, right? Sorry, y'all, if I go to the crayon box, but I'm not sorry, right?
That's okay.
What you have, right, is the faction that is going to uphold, right, the uphold and use white supremacy to obfuscate from what's actually happening, right? Example, they're going to throw black faces, quote unquote, in the people's face to distract from what the Biden crime family syndicate is actually doing, the people that support them, right? So they're going to put black faces on TV. Hey, look, right? And I'm going to go back to the what I mentioned yesterday about Biden getting an honorary doctorate from Howard. Right.
Oh, God.
Right. That's part of the obfuscation that they're going to do. Oh, look at Biden in this light, using black people as a prop to distract from the people like that are trying to create a plan to let Biden slide out. Meanwhile, right, nobody didn't know that the people that were investigating Hunter Biden was just all of a sudden let go. That didn't even make the news. But Biden getting an honorary doctorate from Howard made the news. See what I'm saying? So you got these two factions using that prop to distract, to try to let Biden slide in the back. But those of us that's been seeing it the whole time, oh, no. Get over here. See, and really, let's be honest, I don't even want really Republicans looking into it, but they're the only ones that are on the team that are even thinking about it.
That's right. Yeah, so the question, there's a couple of questions in what you just said. Like, how can the liberal, melanated community continue to watch this farce and believe it?
Yeah.
Right. That's number one. Mm-hmm. And what are the Democrats willing to do? And this is a scary question. What are they willing to do to to hide all this damage in the party, because Biden has become, I think, a real damage to the party.
Again, right? You know what they're going to do? They're going to obfuscate, right? They're going to create a, right? It's coming up on June, right? They're going to try to create another summer of love.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They're going to try to create another summer of love to distract from the Republicans' so-called investigation, and then call it a farce. Right? Use the same language because we know they're good at this, right? They use the language of the Republicans against them.
Yes.
And Republicans never bite back when they use the language against them. They're going to call, the Biden investigation, that's a farce. That's a farce. That's a witch hunt. And I'm sitting here, we've seen the evidence, and you're going to say it's a witch hunt, but again, the leftist media is going to pick that up, be like, oh, look at the Biden witch hunt. The Biden witch hunt. And it's going to take the bite out of the whole thing because, remember, Republicans triggered America with witch hunt. And then now when the leftist news grabs it, people go, oh, it's a witch hunt. Okay, we ain't even got to listen to this. We know what Republicans are doing, right? They freaking shoot their own foot. Shoot their own selves in the foot with language.
Well, let me ask you, how many in whatever the Republican Party is anymore? We've got the rhinos. We're divided too. We've got the rhinos, and then we've got the patriotic group that really wants to fix all this garbage legally, the right way, and we know that we have to wait it out in order to legally replace some of these horrible senators, congresspeople, presidents, governors. We could go on and on.
Yeah,
and
the whole thing.
We are diligently working on that. But how many rhinos do you think, especially after Tucker left Fox, and I think more and more people are sobering up. I'm not going to use the word awake anymore. They're sobering. They're really coming to look in the mirror and say, whoa, the banks are, I may really lose everything I've known, everything I have. What are we going to do really, for real? What are we going to do? I think there's a sobering, and with that sobering, I think there comes back faith and prayer, which is a really important part of this, because people have forgotten how to have faith and persevere like our ancestors did. It's such an important human quality that we have forgotten because we have watched this stupid media and all this violence all these years, and we've believed what we heard. And to me, organized society is the demonic, satanic problem that we've had all of our lives.
Agreed.
All of our lives.
Agreed.
And if we could together as a people, not everybody, but a lot of us, rise up, persevere, take responsibility for ourselves and the people around us, and do what we need to do, because we know, we trust in God, we trust in an energy force, we trust in ourselves, and we persevere and do the right thing. Do what we know has to happen. It's strong, it's intense, and when you start thinking about it that way, you can feel it.
Yep.
You can feel it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So now that everybody sort of has a clue that the CIA and the FBI are all corrupt, and there is, well, the CIA and the FBI are not going to turn themselves in, right? They're not going to say, "Oh,
no,
I did it.
No, not at all.
Here I am." No. So what are we doing with all of this? we've known for a long time, but now people are realizing, wow, our government that we trusted, we can't trust them anymore. Mm-hmm. So they can't prosecute themselves.
Right.
I mean, the hen is not going to turn himself in and say, I ate all the chickens. Not happening.
Mm-mm.
So how do we get to a place where we make headway on all the illegalities, on all the corruption, on changing out, getting rid of these demons?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe we can wait 2 years. I just, there's something inside of me that says, something's going to give.
Right.
2 years? Nah, too long. If it was 6 months, I'd say maybe, but no, we can't wait 2 years. We're going to be a fully communist country. We're going to be taken over. Our language will be changed. Our money will be changed. We'll be totally controlled. So, what needs to happen? We need an outside source, huh?
Yeah. I can see the outside source, but I also, if I want to keep it all the way real, right? We have a lot of lazy Americans.
Yeah.
Right. Because, and I'm really speaking about. Now, y'all don't make the mistake of mistaking lazy for being scared, right? No,
right.
Let's don't make that mistake, right? And
Right.
The people that are scared. Let me address the people that are scared, right? I get it, right? I get it because at any given moment, life can end. Life can end in the flesh, right? For standing up what you believe in. I mean, if that 3%, right, that built up the guile and the character and persevered, the king, right? Many people died so that we could be here.
That's right.
Right? Many people died in the Civil War. Over 350,000 men and women both died in the Civil War to help us get to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, it's a scary thing because, we want to live and see our children grow up and, our great-grandchildren, and there comes a point where we have to set that aside and be like, I'm not going to be able to watch them grow up at all if we're in a communist type nation or autocratic nation or totalitarian nation. Right? I mean, we sit here, we talk about. Yeah, we sit here, we talk about.
Bombed by a nuclear. Yeah.
Right. And we sit here, we talk about never again, right? Never again.
Yeah.
Right. And we see a lot of our Jewish friends sit here and end up getting snitched on by a whole bunch of people. Right. Got them put in boxcars. Right. The people that tried to flee and escape the Nazis that were shot and killed. Right. During all that. Right. They didn't get to see their children, grandchildren grow up.
Nope.
Right? So why should we sit back and allow ourselves to be dog walked the same way? Right?
We shouldn't.
Right? I mean, yes, I know bullets hurt and bullets are scary. Right? But here's the thing, right? Your grandchildren won't grow up. Your great-grandchildren will not grow up. Right, and if you believe in the spirit, if you're a Christian and you believe in God, right, when you leave the flesh, you're going to be able to look down and guide them. You know this by faith, right?
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Right, eternity. So the question is, when are we going to get out of that scared mode and get into FAFO mode? Right? Where now for all the lazy people, Oh, you're already dog walked to the slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even realize, they don't even realize they're in the slaughterhouse. Right?
They lined up to get the test and the jab. They're in it. They're on the train to Auschwitz. I said that a long time ago. And they ran right for the train.
Yep.
When I was living down in Boca, I saw the cars lined up, waiting for the tests and the needles and people, hundreds and hundreds of cars. And I was riding in the other direction saying, what the hell is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't wait to give up their DNA. They couldn't wait for the Chinese party to come and take hold of them. The Communist Party, you know,
right.
The CCP. I'm not talking about the Chinese people,
right.
By no means. I mean, we have people that have been so fog-washed on so many levels that we have to let them stay asleep. We just have to.
Yeah.
And if they're not our responsibility anymore. We have to persevere. We have to do what we've been sent here to do at this time.
Right.
And some of us didn't know. We had no idea we were sent here for this reason. We grew up happy-go-lucky. We enjoyed our childhoods. We got to go to college. We got to experience all the fun things, have our kids, whatever. And here we are. Like, we're in this moment of, oh my God. And why are we the ones that feel this so intensely? Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's the thing. I look at it this way, right? And those are my non-Christian believers. You know, just follow with me a second, right? Because it all falls in the reason, right? We all know the story of the 12 tribes of Judah. We know about the story, right? And how they were dispersed. And, you know, we have, right, the lost tribe of Dan, right? We don't know where they went. We have an idea where they went, right? And even rabbis have said that these people in the lost tribe of Dan, they have a specific DNA strand, right, in their DNA. I heard a lot of rabbis talk about it, and they may have found descendants of the lost tribe of Dan down in Ethiopia, right, down Eritrea, down in that area, right? They've been talking about it for a couple decades. I'll say that's interesting, right? Yep. But here's the thing, right? The lost tribe of Dan was the warrior tribe of the 12 tribes, right? They were built, right? They were built to push back Nebuchadnezzar, right? They were built for that job, right? Now, every century to every couple centuries, right, there is a group of people that have been anointed to be those warriors in the specific regions of the world. We've seen it. We've seen it many times.
Yeah.
Right? I am of the belief in this moment in time in America, we are part of that group. We are part of that group that has been brought together on the same wavelength to be the warriors to save this region, to save this country, to save these two continents. I fully believe that. There's too many things that line up in history that wouldn't in the timelines of certain things happening and how they were laid out. You'll be hard pressed to throw me off that train.
It's very inspiring. It's an inspiring thought. I've always thought about it more on an individual level, what you're saying, that certain incredible people come back and get reincarnated. You know, they're up there kind of leading, like kind of the gods and the goddesses, if you believe in that, like there are people that work under God and they sort of send them back and say, okay, this is your time, you go. And I've always thought of it more on an individual basis, like angels, like people that come back to support the people that can be weak and strong. It can go either way. But your theory is a very interesting one, and maybe it's not a theory, it's what you know inside of you. And it's something we can all grab onto, because in order for us to persevere, we've got to take hold of these thoughts and these principles that keep us going, that make us feel more inspired and stronger. That's the whole thing of it.
Right.
That's the whole thing of it. Yeah.
That's the whole thing, 100%. Right. I really, like I said, I really think we were all sent here. We were all anointed to be this, right? And like I said, it's been, how long has it been? It's been over a century and a half.
Yeah.
Right? Since this land has seen any type of conflict, because once we stamped out the evil during the Civil War, and the evil trickled another 100 years after the Civil War, and then we got to the good part, and people say, "Oh, when was America great?" America was great in a lot of places if you looked on the individual level as it was supposed to be based, right? Those years between 70 to about 95, 2000, right? I'd
say after World War II. After World War II, in my mind.
Yeah, it could. I could take World War II, but I'm taking more just off as based on American history as a whole, right? Because I mean, during World War II, people were coming back from the war and was still treated like their service didn't matter, right? So I want to go, past that part and get, you know what I'm saying, and get to the part where people didn't care about the Jim Crow issues anymore. People didn't care about segregation anymore. People were like, you know what? You could be purple. Can you swing a bat? Let's go. Can you ride skates? Let's go. Right? That's it.
Let's go. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we got a chance to experience the goodness, right, of human nature because of the men and women, even our parents, what they went through and fought for to get us here, to teach us what liberty actually is. And we got a chance to experience it for a very short period of time before we started going back overseas.
And there must be a reason for that, because by having that experience, we became the warriors to say, no, you can't do this to us, because we know how good it can be. And we've experienced how wonderful things are, and we're not going to let them take it away from us and our children and our grandchildren.
Right.
That was actually our fuel. Goodness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now that we've learned this, right, and we've built the character, now, right, because I always think, right, when you sent that to me, it's like they both complement each other, because you got to build character to persevere. Perseverance builds your character.
That's right.
Right? So we had our character built up while we were children, right? And we've seen the adversities. We heard the adversities, right? We've heard our neighbors say crazy things about people that didn't look like you or, look like them, right? And we're like, nah, that ain't cool. I go to school with this cat.
That's right.
Right? I ain't trying to hear anything you trying to say. Right?
We were born warriors. Yeah,
right.
We didn't know it.
Right. So we wouldn't play with that said friend in front of the house. We'd go a block over and go play with said friend. Like, hey, we're not going to try to create any conflict in front of my folks' house. We'll go play at your house, bro. Okay. Right. We did, that's how we did. We, you know what I mean? We were the original inclusive group, right? We were that before these people came along and said, we got to add more things to inclusive. No. You ain't got to add nothing. We did it basic. We were good. Right. And now, right, they tried to change the rules on us. Now they're testing our character. They're testing who we really are, and we're pushing right through them. That's why they get mad every time they say, "Oh, well, why you keep asking what's a woman?" Because, hello, there's a reason for that. And number two, we're not down with your he's him, zim, zalabim, they, and all them things, right? Because we're like, nah, you a person, right? I don't care what you identify as. I'm not addressing you as that. You is what you are. That's it. Game over. You coming to skate with us or what? If you ain't, sit your ass in that damn corner and do what you do. But we gonna be over here doing this, right? They testing us, y'all. They are testing us to see how far we will bend. But the great part about it is that they might get those little Gen Z twerps to bend over and touch their ankles with the elbows, right? But none of us sane people is doing that. None of us sane people are actually doing that. We're looking at you like, what? No, we ain't got to participate. We ain't got to participate in that. It's my individual right to not participate in that. Right now, if you come, free will. Right now, if you come back over here into my bubble, pulling it again, you about to fuck around and find out what the real deal is. So I walked away from you, right? I walked away from you because I didn't want the confrontation with you, right? And now you keep trying to bring it to me, and you're trying to bring it to me from different angles. You know what happens when you back a quiet and patient person in the corner. And I keep telling these people that want to call themselves identifying as a woman, y'all look, hell hath no fury, a woman scorned. They don't want that smoke, because a lot of these women, go ahead.
I don't want a man on the swimsuit cover of Sports Illustrated.
Hey, look. They haven't met them yet. They really have not met, right? A unified, true woman, approach to these cats. I don't think they ready for that.
No,
because when it happens, I'm gonna go order some Orville Redenbacher in the tractor trailer. And I'm just going to sit on the side of the road and watch it go down. I'm like,
yeah.
For real? Y'all did this. Y'all did this.
You got it coming.
Yeah, we got to pay bills, Miss Val. So y'all already know what to do. We got to do the things. So make sure do your cheese, wine, and crackers. When you come back, we're going to talk more about this character building and this perseverance. Here on the Experience Today on the Southern Liberty feed. See you back here in 6.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks tumbling on the back of a weak retail sales report for the month of April and debt ceiling worries in Washington. The Dow Jones falling by 336 points Tuesday, NASDAQ down 22, and the S&P dipping 26 points. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he has no plans to step down. Musk addressing shareholders at Tesla's annual meeting in Austin, Texas, providing an update on the road ahead for the electric automaker. Musk promising the company would deliver production Cybertrucks later this year, admitting to manufacturing challenges in making the electric pickup available. Shareholders also voting former Tesla Chief Technology Officer J.B. Straubel to be added to the automaker's board of directors. And Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway raised its commitment to Bank of America, also announcing it has bought new stock in Capital One. Capital One shares were up more than 2% in trading on Tuesday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Matt Napolitano, invested in you.
Do you want to know what's trending now? You can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. No payments and no interest for 6 months. This is a big deal. NetSuite by Oracle has never made an offer like this in its 22 years as the leading cloud financial system. 33,000 companies have already upgraded to NetSuite, gaining visibility and control over their financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. Everything they need to reduce manual processes, boost efficiency, build forecasts, and increase productivity across every department. In fact, almost 90% of finance leaders agree that NetSuite helps them reduce manual data entry time. Whether your business generates millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, take advantage of this special financing offer of no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/quick. That's netsuite.com/quick. netsuite.com/quick.
Become law. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The North Carolina State House completes the override of Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's veto of a Republican-backed abortion bill.
Not long after the state Senate voted along party lines to override the veto, Republican State Representative Sarah Stevens sought the same in her chamber.
We seek to balance protecting unborn babies while ensuring the safe care of mothers.
Democratic Representative Marsha Maury characterized the bill as
extreme government control over a woman's most basic private right to make her own health care decision.
The final tally, 72-48, straight down party lines and exactly the 60% needed to cement the reversal of the veto, codifying a 12-week abortion ban.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Another round of talks today at the White House as lawmakers and President Biden try to come to a deal on the debt ceiling.
It is possible to get a deal by the end of the week. It's not that difficult to get to an agreement.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Not sacrifice our values. They'll probably not sacrifice their values, but we'll have to come together on something that can avoid default. Default is a disaster. Full stop. And everyone understood that in the room.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. President Biden said the meeting was productive. He will travel to Japan this week for the G7 meeting, but side trips to Papua New Guinea and Australia have been canceled so he can return to Washington for negotiations. Republican Michael Stender has won a special election for a state house seat in central Pennsylvania. His victory retains the seat vacated by a Republican member who was elected to the state Senate earlier this year. Majority control of the House hinges on another special election in the Philadelphia suburbs. America is listening to Fox News.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jennifer Lopez is the mother, a deadly female assassin who must rescue her daughter from a syndicate group of dangerous men. Vengeance is a mother. Also starring Joseph Fiennes, Lucy Baez, Omari Hardwick, Paul Raci, and Gael Garcia Bernal. The Mother is rated R and now playing only on Netflix.
Missouri officials terminate a rule which aimed to place limits on transgender health care.
A statement on the Missouri Secretary of State's website reveals officials have terminated GOP Attorney General Andrew Bailey's emergency rule to place limits on gender-affirming care for minors and some adults. Requirements would have included individuals undergoing 15 hours of therapy, waiting at least 18 months, and being screened for mental health issues before being able to receive treatments including hormones, puberty blockers, and surgery. Bailey had previously called this an innovative approach to help folks have all the information necessary to make good decisions. A judge had put the rule on hold until July after the American Civil Liberties Union of Missouri sued to block it. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
He became an instant celebrity while playing football at an Ohio college. Now he's taking that college to court.
He booted an extra point for Hucking College, becoming the first person with Down syndrome to play and score a point in an NCAA or National Junior College Athletic Association football game. Caden Cox claims his supervisor at the Student Rec Center where he worked targeted him with persistent, derogatory, discriminatory, and abusive verbal harassment. He says he reported the bad behavior to college administrators. The suit also claims other students complained about being harassed by the same supervisor. Cox is searching for compensation and wants changes made to the community college's anti-harassment policies. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Four more former professional soccer players have been diagnosed with the brain disease CTE, according to the Concussion Legacy Foundation. The condition has been linked to people who have sustained repeated head trauma. Researchers say heading the soccer ball is dangerous and should be phased out, especially for children. The new diagnoses come as soccer officials gather in Chicago for a head injury summit. I'm Lisa Silasera. This is Fox News.
There's no sign of identity theft slowing down. And why should it? More than $14 billion were stolen from identity theft victims last year alone. To cyber criminals, it's a success story. To the rest of us, it's a wake-up call. Your personal info is in more places now than ever, and all that exposure can make it dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself by monitoring your identity and alerting you to threats you could miss on your own. If you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will be dedicated to your case and work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year by going to LifeLock.com/Fox. That's LifeLock.com/Fox for 25% off.
Welcome back, Southern Liberty. Appreciate y'all. We're talking about character, perseverance. As I said, going out on the out end of the first half, they're trying us, Miss Val. They're trying us. I think. Yeah. You know, I think they're trying to get us to blow up. Right? They keep pulling the levers, and the thing is like the old boomers and the silent generation types that are running our government right now, they know how to push our buttons. Right? They know how to push our buttons and manipulate the grandkids, right?
Or create no grandkids. You know,
that
speaking
too.
of perseverance, Carrie Lake, isn't she just a wonderful symbol of a warrior that's come through? And she was doing an interview the other night, and she was at CPAC in Hungary, and she told a very brief sort of story about what's going on there, how beautiful it is, how safe it is, how perfect the environment seems to be. And she spoke of this Viktor Orban. You know, he's the president of
Hungary.
Hungary.
Yep.
So here we are in the United States fighting like idiots about abortion, right? Not us, but that's kind of what's going on. She says, in Hungary, Viktor Orban made no rules or restrictions on abortion.
Right.
What he did was he gave people a tax incentive to get married. And then when they had one child, they got 10% taken off their taxes and 10% with each child. And after they had 4 children, they went tax-free. The abortion rate dropped 50%.
Sure did.
Is this brilliant?
Yeah.
Is this brilliant?
Yep.
He came at it like a daddy, like a Donald Trump, like this whole thing is we've got to stop these wars with each other. Come at it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You know, like the CNN debate, whatever the hell it was, fight, when she said, oh, so you want Ukraine to win the war? And Trump said, I just want people to stop dying. It's the same thing. You know, I'm just like, wow, look at all the warriors out there. Look at the people who refuse to be taken down by all of this insanity. Right. Let's be freedom warriors. Let's be peace warriors, peaceful warriors. That's what we are, actually. We're trying to be peaceful warriors.
That's right.
Anyway, I thought that was a terrific way to deal with the abortion issue, because we've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and you're right. We're
doing the opposite.
Right.
We're doing the opposite. We're giving people extra money for having babies when they're not married. Think about that.
Yep. Yeah. And even if we're talking about Hungary's laws, if I remember correctly, and I'm going off of past memories. I haven't looked at it in a year or two, right? But if I remember correctly, under the current laws, abortions can be performed up to 12 weeks, but maybe extended under up to like 2 months, 24 weeks, depending on circumstances. On top of the incentive,
yeah,
right. And here's the funny thing, right? It shouldn't take government to have you to be to force you into being a responsible individual.
Exactly.
Right? It shouldn't. Exactly. I shouldn't have to give you a tax incentive, right? I mean, that in itself is, to me, we already know how we feel about taxes, right? But to give a tax incentive to keep your children.
Yeah, right?
And get married.
Yeah. Well, you got to do something. I mean, what's going on here in this country, we should be ashamed of ourselves. I don't know that there's any other country in the world, except maybe for China, and what's going on over there is just horrific.
Yeah.
But no other country has abortions in the 8th and 9th month, or killing a baby afterwards. No other country is as radical as this country. This is disgusting and disgraceful. And then people try to define you. Oh, you're pro-life? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Right. What does that mean, right?
What does anything mean anymore? I mean, we really are in a place where part of building, we can't heal other people till we heal ourselves, really. We have to start from ourselves.
That's right. Ain't that the truth?
Our characters have to get strong, because we're not going to be able to hold up under all this pressure if we can't take the warriors that are inside of ourselves and honor them, pat ourselves on the back every day for getting through every day. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody right now. You know, we're in the dark, really, for the first time in our lives. We hear all kinds of things coming out of the media. I don't know. Are all these people running our borders, do they have weird diseases? Are they literally going to kill us off with diseases? They're moving people further and further up New York State. Now Adams is saying, oh, we don't want to be a sanctuary city now. Like, why do we have to keep being the teachers of lessons to all these namby-pambies that couldn't figure this stuff out a few years ago? What did they think was going to happen?
I don't. We have to think. These are people that don't understand how to think things all the way through.
Right.
That's kind of how I look at it. They do not understand how to think things all the way through, because if they would have, different story. Completely different story. On its face, completely different story.
On its face. Well, you know what? We've got collective rage going on now throughout the world, because people are realizing 2 million children a year are being trafficked. The first question you would have to ask is, what is happening, and where are all these children? That in and of itself would stop anyone from breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this Epstein thing, it's actually bigger than big, and I believe that Donald Trump knew this a long time ago. New York, Palm Beach, kind of knew who he was, got him set up with a house, and then he had people working for him, and things were going on, and he heard about it, and he became enraged. And this whole Epstein thing, this guy, when you think about it, he was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just, because you cannot set up a money laundering, human trafficking, drug smuggling worldwide with all the big CEOs and bankers and politicians all over the frickin' world if you weren't a mad genius.
Right. I have to agree with you on that one. You're exactly right.
Now, imagine if he would have funneled his character and his warrior spirit into doing good.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He would have been an amazing asset to the planet.
But no, instead, we gotta tear him down because he's messing up our agenda. I'm like, yeah, okay, we know what he was messing up. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and believe me, nobody wants that truth to come out. This is a truth that will hurt every human being on the planet. It'll injure our souls. And this is what people don't want to see. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to look at it. They're looking the other way. You know what? You can't look the other way anymore.
No.
It's just not possible.
It's past that point now. It's like, it's right in your face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you can look away. But
And speaking of that too, right? Look. It just popped into my head, and if I'm in left field, tell me I'm in left field, right? But really think about this a second, right? Donald Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the whole quote unquote Muslim ban, quote unquote,
Yes.
right? At the same time, right? He extended TPS for Haitians. Right? He extended TPS for Haitians. Okay?
Okay.
Which is the refugee status. For those of you that don't know, TPS is the refugee status. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Biden gets in office, in the millions of executive orders he signed, he revoked the TPS status for Haitians.
Yeah.
And then, right? And then we get that picture. Border Patrol is beating Haitians.
Yeah.
Right? And then now all of a sudden, Haitians, Montserratians, and Jamaicans are allowed into the country, but only through the southern border, not through the Straits of Florida. They get turned around in the Straits of Florida, but they're allowed to walk across the southern border. You tell me who's working with the cartel, especially the Gulf cartel. This is all Gulf cartel, right?
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea who is specifically working with who anymore because it's convoluted.
Yeah, but exactly. But this thing's for sure. If they're not coming through the Straits of Florida on dinghy rafts, they're going across on chartered boats into Gulf cartel Gulf cartel controlled area in Mexico, which is that eastern leading edge that butts up on Reynosa, right? Reynosa, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, that area. That's all Gulf cartel. These people come through the southern border through Reynosa, Corpus Christi.
Well, they
right?
just built a bridge.
Yeah, they
Of course,
just put
the
the
Darien
international.
Gap to make
Yep, sure did.
easier.
Sure did.
Shoo.
Right?
This is intentional. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
So if these people are allowed to come through the southern border, I'm sorry, but I had to lay it out there. The federal government is working with the cartels to traffic these people into the country.
Of course. You got to be crazy not to see that, not to know that.
Yeah. And all kinds of
Yeah.
people, Ukrainians, Libyans, all kinds of people are coming through the southern border.
Well, Ben Bergquam has been interviewing, and I got to say, it's mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly military-age men from China,
Mm-hmm.
from everywhere in the world. Mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
Very few families and children. And the cartels use the children and reuse the children to go back and forth.
Yep.
Oh, it's just the ugliest thing we could ever have to deal with in this country. It's really horrible. And I don't even want to say on the air what they're doing to these children because it's so horrific. It's beyond imagination.
Yeah.
But go out and have your martini and go dancing and see the show 5 miles away and pretend that life is good and everything's normal. That's all my friends in Palm Beach County that I left behind. I can't even look at their stuff anymore. I can't talk to them anymore. It makes me too upset. It just makes me too upset, Rod. And I don't want to feel that way. Everybody's saying, oh, they're trying to divide us. Don't let them divide us. But, if you're ignorant and you are refusing to see reality, I don't really have anything to talk to you about.
Right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You are exactly right. I mean, there comes a point where we must take our heads out of the sand.
Yeah.
And we need to look at it for what it is. Right? We got to look at it for what it is, right? I mean, regardless of how you feel about, people want to, this whole thing with the whole human trafficking thing, right? This is not a political thing, right? This is down to the basic individual liberty aspect of a person. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And when you sit here and you hear the stories of, wait, that girl had how many samples of DNA in her? Wait, what? Or on her? Like, what? Right there should be, right? Every single person, right? And I'm going to take, I'm going to take so-called Republicans out of the conversation a minute. And conservatives and all that. And I want to look at my Democrat friends, my leftist friends, and how are you not up in arms? But you still want to have the liberty for children to transition themselves when they feel like it, but you ain't got the same energy for these children being abused and trafficked across our southern border, and it's put out there on Front Street. But by virtue, you must disagree or shoot down the idea because it came from a Republican or a conservative or a right-leaning person, right? Yeah. And then these people continue on being abused, and then going to come down to, I was abused by the government. Then they're sued. Then your taxes go up because they got the United States government has to pay a civil lawsuit to these people, right? But that's the thing. Human decency is not exactly a one-way street. It's not one team's way and the only way.
That's right.
And that's what they've made it. That's what they've made it. They've made human rights, they've made individual liberty a political issue. And this is where we have fallen.
They made us a political issue. I'm very honest about the way I roll, and now people don't even want to hear you in the first place because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not honest. They just look at you and say, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about anything.
All right, cool. Don't
Go
vote.
away.
Don't vote.
Yeah. There's an idea. There's a novel idea.
Right? Don't vote.
Yep. That would solve everything.
Yep.
No ignorant, at every polling booth, they should say, no ignorant people allowed to vote. Yeah. Tell me something about the person you're voting for. Fill out this form. If you can't fill it out, go away.
Right.
Good idea.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Ms.
I don't
Val,
want communism. I don't want this whole thing that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't support we don't support the current thing.
No, we don't support the current thing. That's it, in the nutshell.
That's it. Yeah, if it has anything with usurping people's liberty, nah, we don't want that current thing. What's really current has always been current throughout history, right? The preservation of human rights and individual liberty. That will always be a constant. That will always be the current thing. Always. Because
and that's what never again means. That's what never again means.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Ms. Val. Thank you for the conversation as always. I appreciate I appreciate everybody coming through as always. Hopefully you guys got a little something from the insight. Share it with your buddies, your friends, share it on your social medias and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys stop back by here Friday for Friday Up Friday, 9:30 p.m. on Friday. You know we're going to get it in. Phone lines always be open. Invite your cousins, friends, your second cousin twice removed by marriage. Invite everybody. We're going to have a good old party. Until next time, y'all, have a blessed week. Have fun. Life, love, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.